Welcome back. I'm standing in the area where my neighbor's cow wandered over and ate all my pigeon peas a month or two ago, and I put in a little fence from Gliricidia sepium, which all you have to do is stick a piece in the ground and it roots. So I put in that fence to kind of keep the sheep and the cows hopefully out. Once that grows into the ground, it'll start grafting itself together and everything. It'll be awesome. I don't think anything's coming through it once it's growing. Right now it's still a little risky, but the neighbor's a good neighbor and the cow is only tied up over there every once in a while, so we're gonna just count that it's probably gonna be okay for now. So anyhow, last weekend we started digging some little beds and transforming this area because there's really good soil and it's closer to the house. And if you're familiar with permaculture and the idea of zones, zone 1 is your house area and zone 2 around there is closer, and as you get higher up in the zones, things get farther away. The stuff that needs the most work should be close. I would like my gardens right next to the house, but because the house is surrounded by trees, I don't have that. Unfortunately, the best gardening spot on this entire property is way down the hill. And I tried that last year and I lost all kinds of things. Goats and cows got through and destroyed things. It rained really hard, the hill got very slippery, and I didn't feel like going down there all the time because you kind of had to like walk on all fours to get down there. It was ridiculous. So I'm trying to get things closer to the house, and we've got the little garden beds in the back, but that area is in an area of scraped soil when the plot was leveled. So it's mostly rocky, very hard clay, and it's not that great for gardening, even though we're working it up. We basically made that the herb gardens. So over here in this section, we're gonna be planting beans and watermelons, and then I'm gonna do that Three Sisters garden because I wanted to do a Three Sisters garden for a long time, and I think it's absolutely abysmal that I haven't done one yet, with my wife being Native American and myself being a garden writer. I mean, every garden writer, like the first thing any garden writer ever writes about is the Three Sisters garden, the most amazing garden that you ever saw from our Native American forebears. This was, wow, like companion planning at its best. Let's go take a look at the spot. This is one of my children's beds. We came out and dug beds for each one of the kids. There's another one of the kids' beds. Well, actually we didn't get every kid, but there's another one of the kids' beds. There's another one of the kids' beds. There's a few more kids' beds. I know you're gonna say, David the Good, how many kids do you have? I have a lot of kids. All right, so this area here though, this is gonna be the Three Sisters area, and I'm gonna take certain spots here and improve them and dig them first. I'm gonna break this entire area up and make it so the whole ground is loose. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Three Sisters method, what? You haven't read basic gardening articles? Go to gardeningknowhow.com or San Francisco Gardening Club or whatever. But no, basically it's just the Three Sisters are corn, squash, and beans. You know, you plant your corn first, and then you plant your beans, and the beans plant, you know, they climb up the corn, support themselves on there. Pole beans, not bush beans. And then after that, you plant some squash or pumpkins around the base of the corn and the beans, and the area gets covered with pumpkin vines, which shade the ground and keep it cooler, and they hold in moisture, keep the weeds down. The corn acts as support for the beans, and then, you know, the whole thing becomes a beautiful mess together, and symbiotically the Three Sisters work, and they're all good staples. So this area here, I'm gonna make some hills, plant my corn in groups on the hills, and then plant around them with the beans and the pumpkins. First I put in this fence, and of course this is gonna grow over time and become a solid impermeable wall. Hopefully they'll all root. And then we have weed-eated this area. See, it's pretty nice. There's my nice tripod over there. Isn't it really professional when I shoot my own camera equipment? That's why you guys keep coming back, right? 18,000 subscribers. Hey, look, he shoots his own camera equipment. The other day I had this strap, and I was like, oh, there's a strap in this shot. I have to cut that out. It's very professional. Okay, and then the last thing I have to do is this cocoa tree here. I'm gonna cut it down. Now, you might think that's an absolutely horrible thing to do, except that this cocoa is somehow sterile. It never makes cocoa, and it has never made cocoa. So it is just taking up space and it's shading the ground right here. And this is beautiful soil and we need some more sunshine in here. So this tree is coming down and that is going to open up this space. Cocoa is very easy to cut down. I can cut this thing down with a machete in probably just 10 minutes or so. Hey, why don't I cut it down with a machete now? That looks pretty good. This area's got a lot more sunlight in it now. And I think it's time to start digging. Get it ready, and then start planting. Get up in the morning time, making biscuits. Get up in the middle of the noonday biscuits. Get up in the afternoon, making biscuits. Get up in the middle of the nighttime biscuits. Get up in the morning time, making biscuits. Get up in the middle of the noonday biscuits. Get up in the afternoon, making biscuits. Get up in the middle of the nighttime biscuits. B-I-S-C-U-I-T. Here's to you, retired senior chief. B-I-S-C-U-I-T. Here's to you, retired senior chief. Biscuits, 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 Okay, so this area is finally ready. I made mounds and I both broad forked and used the small fork to fork this whole area up. Next time, when we get back to this project, probably in a couple of days, we will plant it. And I'll bring you along for how we plant this. But I've got multiple mounds, these are the stations. And from here, it's time to actually go ahead and plant. But this was a ridiculous amount of work. And as you can see here, we pulled out a lot. Look at all these rocks. A lot of rocks. Just a ridiculous amount. And there's more that got thrown downhill, or, downhill and all around over here. We were just throwing rocks everywhere. But this is all forked up and ready to go. But it's unfortunately been dry for the last week or two again. We haven't really gotten any rain, so I'm just kind of hoping we get a good rain and softens up some of these clods. Then I can rake these mounds nicely, make them even, and get to the fun part, which is planting. Thanks for joining me. If this video has continuity problems, it's because it was recorded over about a week and a half to 2 weeks, because I kept getting a little bit of time to come out here and turn some soil and pull some rocks and turn some soil and pull some rocks, and it was off and on and off and on. And so it just took longer to get this area prepared, but it's still pretty much the dry season, so I'm not that worried. We can grow year-round here. It's not like if I don't get the corn in this week, it's going to be a problem. So I can just kind of do it whenever I want to. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Be sure to check me out on the web at thesurvivalgardener.com. And let me know if you guys have ever done a Three Sisters garden. I'd like to hear about your experience. This is one of those things that I've read about 1 zillion times and haven't done yet. So it's about time that I do it. But if you've done it, I'd love any insight that you have. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.
I went to see David the Good. We listened to Portishead and drank spiced rum. He threw me off the ramp and broke my foot and broke my wheelchair, all in good fun.
I wanted to do a Three Sisters garden for a long time, and I think it's absolutely abysmal that I haven't done one yet.